We have risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Scholars of Wrestling Show, episode 230. Don't look at me in that tone of voice, because I am your man behind the microphone, Scholar Jeff. I never slur my words. And to my right is the current reigning and defending, undisputed, and Mr. Scholar in the Bank, Scholar Tarek. How did I do this time?
I'm going to give it a B+.
Why does this one get a B+?
Because, like yourself, you are a B+ player.
Okay, now you're just being mean.
Well,
that's not the way a champ behaves. That's just mean.
Oh, well, you may think that's how a champion should not behave, but I should know. For how long I've been holding this beautiful title, I know exactly what it means to present myself and act like a champion. And
in that order. You heard it here first. Scholar Tarek likes to present himself
as the face of Scholars of Wrestling, as the reigning, defending, undisputed,
despite the fact that you are clearly being disputed,
heavyweight champion.
Put that
you can't
down.
Dispute me because
I did. I am. I continue to.
I am the undisputed scholar of the Scholars of Wrestling. The one true scholar.
Like a great American once said, you keep using this word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
I don't care if that's how you're trying to pull a Princess Bride quote on me. Speaking of which, are you going to go see Once Upon a Deadpool?
I possibly will. If for no other reason than just the way they're pulling it off. But that's beside the point.
I'm not going for the movie. I'm just going for Fred Savage and Deadpool. That's pretty much the only reason to see it.
So are a lot of people seeing it. But you know what? Before we get to all that, Scholar Tarek, we have another WWE pay-per-view on the horizon.
Not just another WWE pay-per-view, the final WWE pay-per-view of 2018.
Yes, we've got WWE TLC, and believe it or not, this one took me by surprise. It's actually shaping up to be a pretty interesting card.
It's one hell of a big card. I mean, 12 matches. Damn.
Yeah.
I think that's the same number of matches for Mania, or at least one of the big five.
Yeah, it's getting up there. So, you know what? Let's just dive right in. This is WWE TLC 2018, kicking things off with a Cruiserweight Championship match, Buddy Murphy versus Cedric Alexander. Champ, who do you got?
I got Buddy Murphy successfully retaining the Cruiserweight Championship. From what I have read about 205 Live, he has Tony Nese in his corner, which some are rumoring that that's going to be the Cruiserweight Championship for WrestleMania. Buddy Murphy versus Tony Nese.
Interesting.
And being a guy who spent most of Cedric Alexander's title reign predicting against him to lose the belt, why would I predict him to retain the belt, especially when you have someone like Buddy Murphy holding this thing?
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about it that far. I'm just thinking, you know what?
Well, of course you're not thinking that far. It was my predictions on it. So you can't be thinking about what my predictions are going to be.
Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about having that similar mindset to reach a similar conclusion. Although, however, my conclusions are the same.
But of
this
course
is
you would want
absolutely
to think,
going to be...
You would want to think of how the champion thinks. I mean,
oh, don't even get me started. The night is still young. I'm talking about Buddy Murphy retaining just because it seems like this is just a return match. If he's going to lose the title, it's got to be in a much more involved feud. Even though a lot of people are starting to come out of the woodwork and look very promising, the time is not yet now. So Buddy Murphy absolutely retains. Moving on, we've got Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton in a match I feel like we've seen many times before.
Except this is the chairs match of TLC.
Oh.
Of tables, ladders, and chairs.
Well, pardon my grits.
Well, you're presenting each match. You gotta put the stipulations on as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just checked out as soon as they said Randy Orton. I'm glad
I'm guessing where your prediction is lying on this one.
Not necessarily. I just don't care for Randy Orton much these days. He's just been, even when he does something cool, he just feels very stale, if that makes sense.
I understand that.
But even so, yeah, I'm going to go with Rey Mysterio on this one. I'm not feeling Randy Orton on multiple levels here. I'm going to go with Rey Mysterio.
I'm going the opposite route. I am going to go with Randall Keith Orton taking the victory on this one. When I was running down the predictions on this card, I was trying to think who would get the most benefit of winning these matches, and it's actually kind of funny because a few of them, no man really would benefit from winning. But with the big rumor going around of who Randy Orton is going to face at WrestleMania this year, AJ Styles, I would say he would be the one taking the victory on this one. So I'm going to pick Randy Orton.
Interesting.
He's the one that's, once he's done with Ray, he's going to turn his focus onto AJ Styles after. I guess that kind of throws my prediction for the WWE title match later, but also maybe not.
Dun dun dun.
There's two different ways that match can go.
Yes, indeed. In the meantime, we're moving on to our next match. We've got Natalya versus Ruby Riott. For this one, I'm going to go with Natalya. I don't think that this is going to be a very long feud.
Actually, I think this is actually the closing match to the feud. And it's a tables match.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. For some reason, I gotta follow my gut again on this one.
Is it following your gut, or are you following your heart?
Gut heart.
Gut heart. Okay.
Heart gut, since Natalya, whatever.
Anyway, aha! I see what you did there.
You might even call it a half-hearted pun.
You killed it.
Yes. Damn right I killed it.
You stabbed it right in the heart.
That's what the kids say, killing it. That's what the kids are into these days, killing things. Anyway, I'm going with Natalya just because I don't want to see this thing keep going on. It feels like it's just coming to a head very soon. Natalya wins.
See, unlike you and Brian, I actually am kind of invested in this match. I actually liked the go-home angle that they had on Monday Night Raw. Although it is kind of funny hearing Natalya say, You tried to destroy my dad's legacy by breaking his sunglasses. Really thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, you could have worded that a little different.
Yeah.
You went against my dad's legacy by breaking his sunglasses. Something like that.
You embarrassed my father's legacy. You tarnished it.
That's the same thing as what she said. I'm just saying you attacked it by breaking his sunglasses, and I felt like even Ruby presenting the table that has Jim the Anvil Neidhart's picture on it, which as soon as they brought the table, I'm like, they're gonna have a picture on him on that table, aren't they? And
yep.
I thought it was just gonna be his face, but the fact that it was his entire body, I was like, oh, well, I was partially right. And whatever she said didn't really work for me. I felt like she could at least say, once I drive you through this table, not only will your dad's legacy be crushed, but you will be the one crushing it, or something like that. Add a little more to oomph to what she was saying. But I actually am kind of invested. I like that I like throughout the time they actually have been building layers to this feud, and this seems like the final match of this feud, because really, where more can they go? But yeah, I'm also going to go with Natalya on this one. Since this is the end of the feud, she's got to redeem herself. She's fighting for her dad. I know Vince McMahon likes to get heat, but I feel like this is going to be the happy ending that Natalya has, at least for the ending of this year, since they even have it on Total Divas, her connection with her dad. So people who watch Total Divas actually can get a connection to this feud. Yeah, I cannot believe I actually brought Total Divas on as a positive thing to talk about.
Well, considering we are putting in our predictions, it does absolutely feed it to the plausibility of the result of this match. So, in this particular case, you're not wrong.
Okay.
There's a time and a place for everything, including reality shows. This is one of those.
It depends
rare
on what
points.
reality show. I mean, it's not Joe Schmo show level of awesomeness.
Well, very few things in its life are.
I'm still the only person who would go out of his way to try and meet Matt Kennedy Gould.
Give us a like if you remember Matt Kennedy Gould, America. Moving on to, speaking of entertaining TV shows, we have the finals of the Mixed Match Challenge. Yes, this is still going on. Between the Fabulous Truth, the team of R-Truth and Carmella, and Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox for some reason.
Or as they call it, Mahalisha.
Mahalisha. I'm not calling it that anymore. So, yeah. I did not expect to see this on a pay-per-view in this format, but here we are. Who do you got?
Here's the thing. I actually like the fact that they're actually throwing the number 30 spot for the Royal Rumble in this.
Yeah.
Now, if they actually did something with the original lineup of the Mixed Match Challenge, but some of them are out because of injury or illness, or just switched just because. It's actually funny. This one was kind of difficult for me because all I was thinking about, like, who do I want to see as the number 30 for either Royal Rumble? And at first, I was actually going to pick Mahalisha because I'm just like, okay, the man was a former WWE champion. It's as much as he's pretty much resented to nothing now. He was WWE champion this year, and it would make sense for a former champion to at least be number 30. But then there's also the fact that not only will they get the number 30 spot in the Royal Rumble, they get a prize to go anywhere they want, a vacation, wherever they want to go. And I'm just like, they're not going to give that to Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox. They're going to give that to Vince McMahon's best friend, R-Truth, and Carmella. And I'm picking R-Truth and Carmella mainly because I want to see R-Truth try and come out as number 30 in the Women's Royal Rumble.
I had the same exact thought. Like, the more I think about this, the more comedic gold they can get from R-Truth and Carmella. They can show up in number 30 in each other's Royal Rumbles.
No, just R-Truth. Just R-Truth, and Carmella has to be the ones like...
It's a possibility.
She's not an idiot, though. She's not being presented as an idiot.
Very true, but the point I'm making is that there's so many other things that they can do with that, including that when they've got a vacation, they can do like segments for the next few weeks of Raw or SmackDown. There's so much things you can do with that, and it's going to be awesome.
We're getting a dance break in each match.
Yeah, we are.
You know what? Have R-Truth try and come in the Women's Royal Rumble. She's telling them she's not in this, and then all of a sudden they just stop, look around, and just yell dance break and do the stupid floss dance.
And that's why they're going to win.
You know, I wouldn't be so
WWE
mad. I wouldn't be so mad at the dance
people's
break.
faces.
I wouldn't be so mad at the dance break if they didn't do the floss dance. I don't like that dance at all. It looks dumb.
Well, it is dumb.
It is dumb. There have been dumber dances that we've grown up with, the Macarena.
Yeah, given that we grew up with the Macarena, I for one am not going to complain about the
floss.
But
the difference between the floss dance and the Macarena is the Macarena is still around after 20 years. I see the floss dance just being a fad, like the dabbing. Who dabs anymore? If you dab, I swear to God, I'm going to punch you.
I'm not dabbing. Do you see me dabbing?
I'll just say right now, if you dab, you're never going to get a one-on-one title match with me.
I'll tell you what. The only way I would
WrestleMania.
Are you gonna let me finish?
WrestleMania is the only slide because it has to be the three of. It has to be you, me, and Brian.
I'll tell you what. The only time I ever see myself even coming close to dabbing is when I take that title from you. That's when you dab on the fools. Then and only then is one warranted a dab. At least that's what the kids on the internet are telling me.
Yeah, like 5 years ago.
Yeah, I'm a time traveler. You didn't know that? Anyway, moving on.
We used to be time travelers for this show, but
yeah,
we gotta kind of bring that back at some.
We do. We need to repair the DeLorean. But in the meantime, let's get ourselves a palate cleanser, shall we? Let's talk about a triple threat match
which
for the
should have
tag
been the
titles.
ladder match.
Which really,
It should have been the ladder match.
The Bar versus the New Day versus the Usos.
Who do you have?
I'll tell you what. I think I'm going to go with the Bar to retain this one. These guys, anyone can win, but I'm gotta follow my gut here.
Your gut heart?
Yeah, my gut heart. If this was a TLC match, I'd predict a title change. My guess is that they're actually going to save the TLC or ladder match for WrestleMania or the Royal Rumble. So in the meantime, I don't think anything too nutso is going to happen. I'm going to say the Bar retains.
This is actually one of the hardest matches for me to decide. Because it's my love for Cesaro. Makes me a Bar. I had to. It's been so long since I talked about my love for Cesaro on this show, and I gotta bring it back at least.
Has it?
Yes.
Has it been that long?
Yes, 2 weeks. It's been way too long.
Everything's relative, I suppose.
What did you think of their rap battle on SmackDown?
I honestly loved it, and the thing I loved more was that Vanilla Ice actually tweeted them.
Really?
Yes.
What did he say?
He was like, "Hey, that wasn't bad."
Well, that's kind of a letdown.
Yeah, we'll have to look up the tweet, but yeah, I saw the next morning Vanilla Ice tweeted, I think, Cesaro. Hey, crazier things have happened. So who are you going with to win the match?
I did have the Usos in mind just because they've been on such a hot streak lately. They're the one surviving team for Survivor Series. They've been on such a hot streak lately. But I'm going to go with my heart on this one. I'm going to go with my heart and my penis on this one. I'm going to choose the Bar.
When in doubt, follow your penis. Words to live by.
I love you, Cesaro.
And now
you're awesome too, Sheamus.
Next match, we've got Elias versus Bobby Lashley.
In a ladder match. A ladder match with the guitar hung up top. And it doesn't matter who gets the guitar. It's not like they get the guitar and the match is over. They just can get the guitar and use it as a weapon. The ladder concept of this match is completely wasted in this match. Am I right?
I want to say yes, but there's still a part of me that says, okay, maybe with that stipulation they can do something with it. It's like Chekhov's gun. If you say that, oh yeah, there's a guitar at the top of the ladder and you can use it, then someone's going to be using it.
Well, yeah. Someone was going to use it anyway. A guitar has been a big stipulation on this feud anyway. So
there can still be something happening. Maybe Lashley gets it and Elias does something to get it back and then just turn it against him. Or maybe he sends Leo Rush up there to grab the guitar and do something crazy. I don't know. Either way, long story short, I'm going with Elias. Just because I walk with Elias.
I walk with Elias too, but not for TLC. I'm going to pick Bobby Lashley to take the victory on this one, mainly because I feel like it's going to connect with the Baron Corbin storyline, and I'm actually going to explain that because I have my own theory on what's going to happen in that that match later. But
interesting.
I think Bobby Lashley is going to win on this one.
Okay.
And it may also be highlighting hinting at what my prediction for the McIntyre Finn Balor match.
Okay, you know what? Let's talk about it then. Let's talk about Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin.
No, before I do that, let's do McIntyre and Finn Balor because that's also a factor in it too.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with McIntyre.
McIntyre.
Because they're pushed because of what I'm hinting at for the Baron Corbin Strowman match, and B, he's on a hot streak right now.
Yeah, no question.
He's being pushed to the stars, Drew McIntyre, and well deserve it. He's proving that when Vince McMahon called him the Chosen One way back when, he actually is the Chosen One. He's had to go away to make a new image for himself. And then there's C. Finn Balor is running with an illness. He had an illness this week. That's why he missed this past Raw, and that's why he's been taken off of a few house shows. So we don't know what he's gonna be like in this match, and it's probably going to be a short match considering what his health is going to be. But yeah, I'm gonna go with McIntyre on this one.
Yeah, I was just going to go with Drew McIntyre because just on a momentum level alone, just we've known for quite a while that they have high hopes for Drew McIntyre. That it was just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time when they pull the trigger on Drew McIntyre, and guess what? Now is that time. Drew's in the spotlight. He's got it. His ascension to the top is right now. And especially with all the illnesses that you're talking about that Finn Balor's wrestling with.
It's even
literally
Alexa
and
Bliss
figuratively.
is sick too.
Yeah.
Alexa Bliss, Mandy Rose.
Drew's time is now. Period. Full stop. Drew's got this. Moving on, we now have Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose.
Intercontinental Championship match.
What I want to know what you think about this one in particular, because your eyes just lit up as soon as we started talking about this.
Oh,
this one's got a lot of promise.
This is the feud of Monday Night Raw for me.
Easy.
And we talked about the highs and lows of this feud the past couple of weeks on this show. I'm going to say Dean Ambrose is going to win the Intercontinental Championship. Because he just turned heel. In a similar argument with Drew McIntyre, if he doesn't win this match, he will lose any momentum that he gained by turning heel.
Yeah,
even if it's a disqualification win, it will hurt the momentum. He has to win the Intercontinental Championship.
Absolutely. Dean Ambrose, I've been a fan of this guy for quite a while. Lights are flickering. The hype is real. Honestly, Dean Ambrose, I love him as a heel, especially in this setting where he's really allowed to speak more, get that raw charisma out there, and just be entertaining. He's honestly one of the most entertaining parts of Monday Night Raw these days for me. I know that's not saying much, but hey, Dean Ambrose is still Dean Ambrose, no matter how you slice him. I'm picking Dean Ambrose to win as well. Now, we can get to the next match, Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin. Where's this going?
Well, it's obvious who's going to win on this one. Let's just say it at the same time. 1, 2, 3, Braun Strowman. And this is what I think is going to happen. Because of Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre getting their victories, it's obviously leaning more towards Baron Corbin. They're his lackeys. I think Baron Corbin is going to come out with all three members: the Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, Leo Rush, all three of them. And he's been pushing on that this is going to be a forfeit. He's gonna do a good couple minutes talking about how he's now going to be the true general manager of Raw. Talk about where he's going to go with it, and basically just talk about how the era of Corbin is going to take over Monday Night Raw, and he's going to tell the ref to do the 10 count so it could be an official forfeit. And while the 10 count right before the 9, Braun Strowman's music is going to hit.
Braun.
And he's going to come out, but because he's still fresh off the surgery, he's going to be all taped up, and he's going to sell like he is still injured. And the match is going to happen. He's going to fight Baron Corbin. McIntyre and Lashley are going to get involved, and he's going to pull out the whole there's a no disqualification. Oh yeah, it's TLC. Of course, he doesn't need to announce anything. It's the Raw TLC match. So yeah, Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre are going to be a big factor in this one. And Braun's obviously going to fight back. We're going to get a good couple minutes in this one. But, of course, Braun's still hurt, and it's a 3-on-1 advantage. It's going to be starting as a repeat of how Braun got taken out. And just before that final moment, they'll probably pull the stairs because, TLC and stairs.
Okay.
I had to do it once.
Why?
I had to. Yes, I had to say it at least once. Because the stairs were a big factor of taking him out in the first place. How about that one? It's coming full circle.
Wrong.
It's coming full circle. Right as that 1 minute is going to hit, the lights go out. Crowd is starting to go nuts. Lights come back on, and Bray Wyatt is right behind them, and he's going to save Braun Strowman. He's going to take out McIntyre. He's going to take out Lashley and Lio Rush, and Bray is going to hit that Sister Abigail. But it's not going to just be a Sister Abigail. He's going to do it and toss Baron into Braun, and that's going to be the Powerball Slam, and Braun's going to win 1, 2, 3.
Interesting. I would love it if it actually happens just to see Bray back again. We all know that he's ready to come back.
Some are hinting it's just going to be because he's still injured. It's just going to be a quick squash, but no, I don't think it's going to be a quick. The match is not going to go more than at least 5 minutes. All this is going to be in a small 5-minute time frame.
Hey, it would
from Baron talking to Braun getting the pin with the help of Bray, and it'll lead to, because Braun's focus will be going for Brock Lesnar. We're going to get a Baron Corbin who is still a top heel of Raw. He may not be the general manager, but now he's going back to being a more active guy. He's going to be a top in a feud with Bray Wyatt.
Very interesting. Now, here's one that I think is going to be fairly easy another one that's fairly easy to predict. Ronda Rousey versus Nia Jax.
We talked about this even when, since Nia Jax took out Becky Lynch. It's Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
There's really not more else to say. Any type of heat, well, there is one thing to say. Any type of heat that Nia Jax has gotten, it's gone. She is she is the most one of the most uninteresting things going on Monday Night Raw.
Bully Ray on Busted Open Radio has
call him Balubba Ray.
I'm not. Hey, he lives on our East Coast. I'm not gonna piss that guy off.
Why would that piss him off though? It's just a mixture of his names.
Because it's Bully Ray. I'm calling him Bully.
Balubba Ray.
Do 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 do.
Balubba Ray.
Do 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 do.
Balubba Ray.
Do 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 do.
Get the tables.
Oh boy, that is gonna become a thing. I know it.
No, it's not.
But either way,
it's gonna be our thing. That's it.
Anyway, like we said, on this week on Busted Open Radio, he put it he just pointed it out just the way it is. Last week, you don't put them face to face and not have them fight. It just seemed anticlimactic. It seemed like it didn't fit. And that's perfectly indicative to me about how this whole thing was handled.
Is this about Raw? Is that what he was talking about?
Yes, he was talking about the recent exchanges with Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey and just how Nia Jax is being presented and how she's presenting herself. There was a lot of promise there. There's a lot of things you could have done with this big, powerful woman who breaks your face. They did none of that. They hyped it up for a little bit, but then the delivery just fizzled out super fast.
It's all because of her and her mic work.
Yeah, she dropped the ball. There's no two ways around it. She dropped the ball.
And the shrieking doesn't help at all.
Yeah, this bombed. So I can see them easily just throwing Ronda at Nia and just taking her down 1, 2, 3, or grabbing the arm, taparoo, whatever. Ronda wins.
They're not going to have it be a squash, though. There's a big rumor going around that
maybe.
There's a big rumor going around that Nia and Tamina are going to be big factors for the big contenders for the newly upcoming women's tag team titles. So her being Raw Women's Champion doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't see them trying to make her a double champion and all that. Plus, it's Ronda Rousey, and of course, they're the big match that's going on for WrestleMania. So, yeah,
Not happening at all.
I'm not looking forward to this match.
Yeah, but thankfully, we're likely to have yet another palate cleanser right after that, like this one perhaps. Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles.
Daniel Bryan. He is the most entertaining thing happening on SmackDown.
Second most.
Male-wise.
There you go.
Male-wise, he is the most interesting thing going on SmackDown. This heel turn is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And his match with Mustafa Ali was awesome.
That was a treat.
His promo beforehand, awesome.
What kind of car do you drive?
SUV. You're a small man. Why do you need such a big car? Well, I have a wife and family. What was it that he was saying when he was slapping him?
Oh, what was it, like a idiot or something?
Yeah, he's like, stupid. Stupid. No, it wasn't stupid.
Daniel Bryan is a master. He is a flat-out master.
Here's a scholar's quick talk for you.
I'm all ears.
Do you think Daniel Bryan needs to change his theme song?
I would say no. Mostly because there's still worth to keeping it that way, just because it's so well known. Like, as soon as that first second hits, the sting, you know instantly who it is. Plus, it can still be used as a heel theme song. Like, it doesn't have to be that dramatic or anything.
I kind of look at it as kind of pulling when Stone Cold turned heel when he signed with Vince McMahon. Have it be similar to Flight of the Valkyries, but
well, it is Flight of the Valkyries.
Have it be Flight of the Valkyries, but like a different version, like a darker version. Like, yeah, Stone Cold had a darker version of his theme song when he turned heel, or when he was a part of the Alliance. He had like 3 different theme songs when he turned heel. There was the slower, and then there's the
I just drank like 5 cups of coffee and pretending I'm David Draymond.
I feel like it should be something similar like that.
Well, I think it would all depend on the execution. Like, I'm sure there's so many ways you can do Flight of the Valkyries that, there's a few ways I can see it going right, and then like a dozen different ways I can see it being just like an ear sore.
Mm-hmm.
But all that aside, yeah, I'm definitely picking Daniel Bryan to win. And I'm very, very entertained by his current heel run as the new Daniel Bryan.
And I just love reading like comments and all that of like the casual audience just hating on him now. I'm like, we've talked about it before.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be something big to try and get Daniel Bryan to be a heel, and to which people hate you.
Mm-hmm.
And he succeeded.
Yep.
He really did.
That's why I said he's a master.
He really is.
Mm-hmm. Now, finally, for the match I think we've all been waiting for.
Most likely going to be the main event of this show.
It damn well better. Becky Lynch versus Asuka versus Charlotte Flair. Triple threat match for the women's tag title.
Who do you got?
I tell you what, I've been hearing more and more of this as the days have been going on and we're getting closer. Obviously, we all know what the end game is for Becky Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania.
Yep.
I'm looking
forward to that.
The question is, how are we getting there? And popular word is, or popular opinion, or popular prediction, however you want to put it, that Becky is going to have to lose her title, and then she's transferring over to Raw to go after Ronda Rousey. To that end, I can see her winning. I can see Becky Lynch winning the Women's Royal Rumble next month. But in the meantime, I can see Asuka taking the belt here. After the way she looked on this past week's SmackDown, Charlotte has already had a bunch of different title reigns, and she's going to have more in the future. But not only do we need to get the title off Becky right now, I think after all this and all the presence that Asuka's had, I honestly believe that Asuka's due. Fool, who do you got?
This was actually the last match I actually chose for my predictions, not just because it's what I'm choosing to be the main event, but this one was the hardest. But the one thing that wasn't hard was I 100% agree. Becky's not keeping the belt after this match, and she's going to win the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
That's an early prediction for me, and I'm sure it's an early prediction for most of us.
Mm-hmm.
But now it was just lying the question: who will get the women's championship between Charlotte and Asuka? And in my personal opinion, I'm also going to go with Asuka, because for the past couple weeks they have definitely fixed whatever momentum she lost since losing to Charlotte at WrestleMania.
Goodness.
And yeah, thank goodness for that. Being the one person who actually earned her right to go through the entire women's SmackDown women's division, and me being a huge Charlotte fan, I don't see her winning this winning the women's title. I see her being a huge factor in the women's Royal Rumble too.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm honestly not gonna lie, I wouldn't be surprised if they pulled John Cena Batista and have both people land their feet. Like, have both of them land their feet on the floor at the same time and having it be a triple threat match, since she's just as big a factor for the Ronda Rousey thing as Becky. So, but yeah, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying she has just as much right to be in that part of that as well.
Storyline-wise, you're completely on track.
That's how I look at this, storyline-wise.
Storyline-wise, you're completely on track. Personally, I think I'm following my gut here.
Just say you're following your heart. That's your thing on this show. You follow your heart more than three of us.
Very true. However, this is not. When I say my heart, I'm talking about I'm following my emotions. When I'm saying I'm following my gut, it's more of an instinct that based on what I've been seeing and what's being presented to me. Therefore, in this case, yes, I am following my gut a lot. And right now, my gut is telling me that even though that what you're totally saying makes total sense as far as the feud goes, I've got a feeling that they're probably going to follow the hype instead for this. And the final outcome of this is already on track to being Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey one-on-one at WrestleMania for the Women's Championship.
But that's also the question on what Vince McMahon wants,
and
how big of a Charlotte fan he is. He was trying so hard to push Charlotte as the female Roman Reigns. I don't see him giving up on her that easily.
I'm not saying he's going to give up on her. I'm saying that she's being temporarily sidelined to cash the Becky Lynch check. And from what I'm seeing and from what I've been seeing, that they're already taping a Becky Lynch documentary for the network, which tells me that they want to capture this entire arc. They got some big plans for Becky Lynch. Her appearances have been selling out in 90 seconds. And if you go on the WWEshop.com, on the WWE shop, if you've been on there for any length of time, you've seen that they'll have sales. They'll be like, okay, buy one get one t-shirt for $1, or 30% off on Monday Night Raw days or something. You know what one shirt and what one item is never ever on sale that they always sell at full price? The Becky Lynch man shirts. They know that Becky is money right now. She's super freaking hot, and they're going to milk this for every single dime it is.
I agree wholeheartedly. But I'm also adding the fact that Vince's original plan was to have Ronda Rousey and Charlotte. Becky just became pretty much the people's champion, and it would be really stupid to not cash in on that, which they're not stupid. They are going to cash in on this. So I'm saying, like, yeah, it's going to be Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey are definitely going to be at Mania. But there is that big possibility that Vince McMahon is going to continue getting what he wants, because it's still his company. He still gets final say, and if he wants to have Charlotte in that match, who he still is trying to push as the women's Roman Reigns, especially considering not just the name of Flair, just everything she's accomplished already. This is, and if you're going to have a women's match main event WrestleMania, which we're not going to lie, this is going to main event. It would main event Mania.
It would be foolish to do anything else at this point. That's at least true.
So I say it's these three. I'd say it's going to be these three.
Okay, now I've got a Scholar's Quick Talk for you. Let's say this is what ends up happening. We do the triple threat at WrestleMania. Becky, Charlotte, Ronda. Let's say this is exactly what happens. Do we get Ronda versus Becky one-on-one earlier? Like, let's say the Royal Rumble. Do we get that one-on-one match beforehand?
Maybe not at Rumble. I'm trying to think. There's Elimination Chamber and one other event that's between Rumble and Mania.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, that is
actually a really
tough call.
that is a tough call.
I think now that we're talking about it out loud like this, I think it's going to depend on. Yeah, we definitely know that the end game is going to involve Ronda and Becky at the very least. The other matches that we get are going to be completely dependent on the path we take to get there. And I think, honestly, the more I'm thinking about this, the more I think that is going to inform all of our predictions right up until WrestleMania, how we're going to get there. And this, I think, is going to be a bigger step than we first realized to how we get to WrestleMania.
I'm just also looking at the fact that Charlotte has been involved in every historic women's match that they've had. First ever Hell in a Cell. Oh, except the first ever Women's Royal Rumble. That's the only thing, because she was champion at the time. So, obviously, she can't be in the match if she's champion. But she's the only woman that's held every single women's title available. The NXT Women's Championship, the Divas Women's Championship, both Raw and SmackDown Women's Championship. First ever Hell in a Cell. She's not going to be in the TLC. What match did she have? No, she's been in pretty much most, like, if not all, of the historic women's factors. I say this is just another factor of her being involved in this one, because she's pretty much Triple H of the women's division.
You're not wrong.
So it's still just the factor. Yes, these women are going to be involved somehow. Just
to what
just
extent?
The question, just to the extent
We'll
on how much. Yeah.
All right, so finally, those are our predictions for WWE TLC 2018. Now we're turning it over to you, our listening audience. Who's going to win? Who's going to lose? How are we going to get to WrestleMania? What matches are we going to see? Now it's time to let us know. So if you're joining us on Facebook, run a search for the Scholars of Wrestling Show. Put in your predictions. If you're joining us on YouTube, like us, comment us, you know the drill. Do whatever the kids are doing these days. I'm not old, you're old. Or, for more fun, you can also check us out on Twitter, starting with our main account, at ScholarsOW, for all the latest episode uploads. And for a little bit more one-on-one discussion, or just to join the wrestling community at large, you can also check us out on our personal Twitter accounts. You can check out our MIA Scholar Brian at Atomic Beanpole. Fool, where can they reach you?
you can reach me at The Avatar. Again, speaking of Scholar Brian, his predictions for TLC will be up on said Facebook page and on our Scholars OW Twitter machine.
On our Twitter machine, yes, sir. And as for me, you can also reach me at I'm Robbie Rage. Join the discussion. Join us Sunday. I'm going to be doing some live tweeting. I don't know about you guys.
Of course.
Yes, it's going to be a great time. I got a good feeling about this.
I actually think this is going to be a very good show.
Yeah,
It's a good lineup. Like very lengthy. Again, 12 matches for not one of the main 5. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a very, very good, solid end to the WWE's year.
It's funny, Brian, when I talked with Brian earlier in the week, he actually thinks he was not looking forward to this event at all. And I'm just talking to him like, I actually am the complete opposite. Raw actually delivered on having me invested in some of their matches. Maybe like 1 or 2, not so much. But when it comes to SmackDown, I was already invested. But when it came to the go-home show, Raw definitely had me in. I'm like, okay, I'm actually looking forward to this pay-per-view, and I actually think it's going to be quite a show.
Yes, we know what we think. You know who we are. We're the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled. You're welcome. See you all at TLC.